can tell you a little bit about the courses I teach. So that's one example. All right, now let's go back to table of contents. So that's sort of a generic opening, but a real lesson, what's a real lesson look like? Let's go to Unit 2. Okay, so when you press Unit 2, it has a number of activities. So every day you'll know which activity we're on. So again, let me go back to the calendar if you're not sure. So for instance, let's pick, so let's go to February again. Okay, give it a couple seconds to load up here. So February. So let's go to February the 4th. So that's when we'll really start getting rolling here. So doesn't matter. We'll press here. So see how it tells you what we're going to be doing. This other thing here, that's for my other class. That's the grade 11 class. Okay, so everyone, how come there's two different things here? I, as a fictitious student, signed up for two different things, right? So, but this one right here would be all you would see. You wouldn't see both. So we'll press it, and we'll press more for a second. Now look what it says. Unit 2, Activity 1 and 2. That's what we're going to do today, right? Unit 2, Activity 1 and 2. And it gives you a brief synopsis of some of the ideas that we're going to cover. It gives you some links to some videos if you want to watch me teach it. And then what you guys do is you go to the content, Unit 2, Activity 1 and 2. So you press Content, and there's Unit 2, and there's Activity 1, there's Activity 2. Usually you wouldn't waste your time looking at overview and expectations. You want to see, like, what's the notes, what's he going to do. So every lesson will have the programs we're going to use. So you can download them, unzip them, and try them out. Might be a video of something. Okay, so let me just give you an example. Let's see if I can start this one up. It'll be a little video either I made or it's from Microsoft, and it'll give you an explanation of the topics we're going to cover. Okay, so that's from Microsoft, obviously. All right, and then I will mention some of the programs I'd like you to try out, and then I will have maybe some more videos. Then there's assignment. Assignments like, what's the homework today? So for the first day, I just want you to acquaint yourself with the interface, work through the videos in the content page, and familiarize yourself with the program. Okay, so that would be what you would consider to be a lesson, the typical look of a lesson. Now, eventually you're going to get an assignment on something, right? So let's press here for a second on Activity 3. This might be an assignment, all right? And this first part would be practice, and then I would tell you, hey, I want you to hand in this assignment, and there it is. And you would press it, and you could print it out, and these would be some programs I would like you to write. These are mathematical applications, and you would have to hand that in. Okay, so that's the typical look of courses. Now, you can go a little bit ahead, but usually I don't make these available till later on. So these are all the different topics we're going to learn all semester long. Okay, let's take a look at this next thing here called lesson replay. Every lesson, or almost every lesson I'm going to teach all semester, I've either recorded or will record a video for it. So over the years, and I've done this now for the last 4 or 5 years, what I have here is recorded lessons from previous years. So for instance, Unit 2, Activity 4. You missed that lesson from a couple of days ago, you can watch it anytime you want. You can watch it a million times. So if you press here, what it does is it starts up this Adobe Connect. Now this is what I do, and just give you a kind of a glimpse into how I teach it usually this class. What I usually do is in the morning I have students sign into this Adobe site. Okay, so this is the Adobe Connect thing, and this is what students would do, and we can still do this once in a while. I'll be live period 5 if somebody wants to join me sometimes if they have a question. What you usually do is you go to this site called connect.hwcdsb, okay, and I'll give you the exact link in a second, and then you activate this Adobe Connect, and then at my end I start mine up, and then what you do is you actually get to see me teaching live. You see my screen, you see me moving the mouse. Over here are all the students that have joined us. Down here you can chat to me and ask me a question. So it is kind of a cool way to teach it. Now, since I've shown you this, let me just for a second show you how you would log into that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Course Home. And I'll slide down to here. See right here where it says Connect and then C#. Let me press that for a second. I'll try to put it in a new window. Okay, so this is what you would see. All right, and you would basically use the same password you use to connect to the LMS, the Learning Management System. That's the one we've been looking at for the last 20 or so minutes, and you would sign in there, and then you would be in this room, and it would say, hey, Mr. Shirelli's not in the room yet, so just wait. And then once I come into the room, you will see my screen pop up, and then you can have headphones and listen to me. You can talk back if you've got a microphone. So it's kind of a cool way to interact with me live. And I use it quite a bit when I do these synchronous e-learning. Okay, so that's lesson replays. Dropbox you've seen before. Okay, that will be where you hand in your stuff all semester long. Quizzes. There are about half a dozen quizzes, tests, whatever you want to call them, this semester. And like I said, some of them will be strictly on the computer where you just fill in the blanks, do some multiple choice and stuff like that. Some of them you'll be partly on the computer, then you'll have to do some computer programming. So you'll have to email that answer to me. So for instance, I have here a sample test that you can try anytime you want. It's not the real one, obviously. And then here are all the future tests all semester long. And you'll notice that there's different versions of them. So there's Introduction to Quiz, and then there's a version A and B, a C. So it'll depend on which one I ask you to do, depending on what class you're in. You'll have to make sure you do the same one. I'll tell you more about that later on. But let's try this for a second. What's a sample test? What's going on there? Look what it said to me. You are not on the proper network to access this quiz. What did I do? I didn't cheat. Well, what happens is, and this is kind of like the way I can test to see if you're trying to do the test from anywhere else, you have to be at school to do the test. Okay, you have to be at the IP address of your school, which I happen to know. And so if you try to do the test from anywhere else, it won't let you even in the system. So make sure you're at school in front of a teacher to do the test, and then you can access the test. And basically, once you can get in, it starts up and you make sure you submit your answers and things like that. Okay, as we do tests, I will post the solutions up here, and obviously there's no solutions to post right now. Get back to class list. This is another way for you guys to email me. So if you want to, you press here and you can say email. You can send me your answers on a test or a quiz, or if you have any questions, you can email me that way. This is always how you can see all your friends too. This is how I also see how long you've been online, what you've been doing, what things you've accessed. I can't show it to you right now because I'm in as a student. But you can lie all you want. Say, sir, I've been working, my tail off, and I've been doing all this stuff and everything. I've been going there, and well, this will be the proof. This will tell you how long you've signed in, how many times you sign in, what you've done when you sign in. So you got to be honest, okay? You got to work at this class, and the results will, correlate with how long you put into it. As you do stuff, obviously, you'd like to see how you're doing. So right here is where you will see your marks. So what I've done is I export Markbook online, and as we get rolling, I will tell you your code name. I don't want to show you your name because maybe you're embarrassed about something. So these will be students. These are my students, and this is the code name of a student. That's their mark right there. And down below is topics, assignments, tests that we've had, class averages, and things like that, what they're out of. So at any time, you can always check their mark all semester long. I mark them fairly quick so you can see how you're doing. Okay, so I think I've covered basically all you need to get rolling. All right, it's fairly long-winded the first day, but at least gives you an idea what you need to do. And if you forgot anything that I went through, you want to go through it again, watch the video again, please do. And I should be coming to your school soon to give you sort of an overview myself personally, but this will at least get you started to give you a good idea what you may want to do.